The minute I heard Chopin's Etude Opus 10 number 1, I stopped in my tracks. My ears were like, I was absorbing this beautiful music, sounded like a waterfall cascade. They call it the waterfall etude because of that. And I was like, I need to know what this piece is, number one. I want to learn this piece. I want to play it. Have you ever heard a song, whether it be contemporary or classical, that you just hear either on the radio or just over here somewhere, and you're like, what is that song? I need to know the name. I need to play it. That was the feeling that I got when I heard Chopin Opus 10 Etude number 1. I know I keep saying that, but I am just like fanning over this piece of music. If you already know it, if you're a master at playing that, excuse my gushing over this. Even being at ARCT level piano performance, I actually never have played any of the etudes. And I know a lot of you masters out there that are in conservatory or professional musicians. That's part of the weeding out process. Part of trying to get into conservatory, part of professional musicianship is actually learning the etudes, or even being able to perform Opus 10 and also Opus 25. Chopin actually wrote 2 sets of etudes in each key. I tried to search out some of the ones that I gravitated towards, and so I thought it'd be fun to show you along the process. And so usually the first step is listening to recordings of a song that I really love and that I would really like to play. So and I'll share with you kind of the top tips and tricks. One of them, which some of the masters have shared, is that as you're learning a song, try to memorize it as you learn it. And I found, especially with this etude, I think this will come in really, really handy, because it's just basically going from chord to chord to chord, which Chopin did, and it kind of mirrors, like if you know Bach Prelude 1, it mirrors those chord progressions that Bach did, because Chopin was, you may or may not know, was heavily influenced. With the videos that I'm going through today to learn from, I will put the links in the comments so that you can actually go and listen to them without my commentary and voicing over top of it. So you can just listen to the pure playing. But again, I do this in a manner of wanting to learn from these recordings. I want to pick from them the parts where I gravitate towards. I feel that, wow, this performer did such an amazing job. I want to learn their technique, their approach to that, their interpretation, not exactly copying their interpretation, putting my own spin on it and my abilities and my technique. We each have our own skills, strengths, weaknesses in our musicianship. Okay, let's get to it. The first pick of mine is performance by Garrick Olson after his competition in the Chopin competition in Warsaw. And I believe they filmed this actually after his performance. He was saying in an interview. So let's take a listen. So he starts off strong. I love how even his arpeggios are. A little bit of differentiation here with a lighter touch, and then gradually crescendo. So he's really emphasizing the bass notes here. Really brings out the strength, the dynamics. One of my favorite parts, the chromatic part of this too. Leading up to the end. Great. A little bit of controversy. Some people actually claim the video sped up, and you can actually detect that there's an increase in semitone increment. However, that doesn't take away from the technique. Garrick Olson espouses the relaxed posture, relaxing the whole arm, the wrist, the hands, and really in line with Chopin's whole philosophy, taking it in one step further than Bach in developing the etudes in each key. He espoused really the whole biomechanics and the link of that in playing the piano, the whole posture, shoulders, arms, wrists, and fingers, and that extending into the keys and the keyboard, and how that eventually produces a sound. So fantastic. Next up is actually Naomi Kudo. A bit of a controversial pick for me. Some people don't admire her spin on the etude. Some people claim that there were actually a lot of wrong notes, but I take the attitude, come on people, stop on your wrong note police high horse when it comes to performances. This is a live performance and a competition. Okay, so appreciate it for what it is. I'm just gonna pause here for a second to comment. Very strikingly, like very evident at the beginning of this piece when she comes out, she just comes out with no excuses, bringing out the bass notes, really emphasizing it. Some people actually criticize that she's attacking the piece too much, bringing out those bass notes a little bit, but I actually really enjoy hearing that, having the bass notes lead the music, and it's a matter of preference and artistic interpretation. Here, I really enjoy how she brings out a little bit more staccato. Some people don't like her whimsical approach, but I think she's having fun, and it's something to be admired, how she just take a piece and just give it a very pleasant approach, fun approach. Again, the left hand leading, bringing out that line with the left hand, fortissimo. Her staccato effect is really evident and brings out the chromaticism at the end here. Just very beautiful. Next up is Denis Zhdanov, an accomplished musician and teacher. He's a great YouTube channel. Check it out. Much props to you, and I really appreciate your performance here. So let's learn from him. Okay, let's pause here. Within the first 3 seconds, it's almost comical, but I'm glad that the camera catches it. You see that it's so evident. He takes this deep breath, and immediately his posture is ready, and so he can tell he's prepping himself. It just shows to prove how much that can prepare you for the amount of energy that's going to be exerted within this performance. The whole linkage between posture, biomechanics, and breath, so that he can perform these amazing arpeggios in this piece. So it allows him to maintain relaxation in his body through his shoulders, arms, his wrists, his fingers, so that he can span those arpeggios like 8+. We're talking a span of 9, 10, 11 arpeggios. So beautiful balance between the 2 hands, but hearing those bass notes. Diminuendo. Back to crescendo. Still hearing the prominent left hand notes. Beautiful transition into balance between the left and the right, and emphasizing waterfall atmosphere. Beautiful approach to the chromaticism. And My last pick is Yevgeny Kissin. Beautiful left-hand notes starting off. Beautiful transition in tone to a lighter touch. Cascading waterfall effect. Crescendo. The dynamic range is incredible, but yet not jarring. Very stable. Look at how stable those bass notes are. And yet effortlessly transitioning into the chromatic session. I think out of all the performances, I just love how complete the performance felt to me and demonstrating every part, almost every part of the points that I had brought up in the other videos. So if you've been following along and have been watching my videos and have been enjoying them, thank you for your kind comments and support. I will continue to post my interpretations and different arrangements of various songs and hits, past and present. But I also wanted to infuse a bit of fun by posting some videos in the style of a practice journal so that you can get a behind the scenes look at how I approach a piece of music, how I learn and practice it, and also the musical creative process of how I take a piece and put my own spin on it or put my own style in interpreting it and arranging it in my own way. Oh, by the way, if you're also learning and practicing the waterfall etude, comment on what you find easier or more challenging about the piece and what skills are you learning or trying to develop